Hi everyone, this is StichRulez and I want to talk about today's card. It's called Ultimate Slayer. It's from the Selection Box Volume 9 that just got released in Yu-Gi-Oh! Duel Links for the Speed Duel format. The effect of this card is your opponent cannot activate monster effects in response to this card's activation. Send one monster from your extra deck to the graveyard, then target one monster your opponent controls with the same card type, Fusion, Synchro, XYZ, Pendulum, or Link, and shuffle it into the deck. Well, anytime your opponent cannot respond to a card, it is going to have some level of relevance of competitive play because you're basically limiting the opponent of options to be able to counteract with you. Same thing like a super poly, and that is a very strong effect in itself because it limits the options of the opponent and allows you to break through the opponent's board. This card is one of the strongest board breakers in the current meta. This card also has been, I've used this card personally in the TCG and OCG formats. And it's still used to this day. So when you have a card that's being utilized in the TCG and OCG, and it's going to show a lot of relevance to power into the Duel Links format too, for Speed Duel. So this has a lot of good indication of being able to utilize your extra deck as a resource to send from the extra deck to the graveyard and allowing you to shuffle that monster into the deck. So when we look at some potential options for sending a card from the extra deck, we can look at a very, very powerful card called Elder Entity Nistis. Because it's a fusion type card, but once it's sent to the graveyard, you can target one card on the field to destroy it. So you can incorporate a lot of different resources into your extra deck to get bonus effects. And this is one of the many types of examples that you can utilize to maximize Ultimate Slayer to its full potential, because it could potentially be a +1, you being able to target a monster, shuffle it into the deck, and then you may get a bonus effect from whatever you utilize from your extra deck to send to the graveyard to disrupt the board even further. Now, the cards that get sent from the extra deck to the graveyard, your opponent can respond, but still, the fact that you can get a potential bonus effect from the card that you send from the extra deck to the graveyard is very, very useful in a lot of card interactions. So Ultimate Slayer in itself, in terms of power level, it's clearly an A tier card and possibly an S tier power card, depending on the format that we're in. But this card is very, very strong in many different types of ways because of the fact that your opponent cannot activate monster effects in response to this card's activation. So a lot of versatility this card has, in conjunction to being able to utilize your extra deck, can allow this card to really break boards and go into your combos and strategies that you're trying to implement. Now, when we look at the current meta, like for instance, Despia branded, that type of deck is basically a tier 1, potentially tier 0 format, tier 0 power deck. Definitely tier 1 because of its branded fusion cards and the powerful effects that they have with resource management and able to circulate their resources and go bring the monsters back onto the field, which triggers extra effects. So the grind game of branded Despia is very strong, and you need to have a potential card that you want to utilize when you are going forced to go second and you're facing these powerful fusion types cards on the field. You want something like Forbidden Droplet and potentially Ultimate Slayer to go through their board and being able to combo off with your cards. And Ultimate Slayer is a very great tech option right now because branded is all fusion. All their extra deck monsters are fusion. So you can incorporate Elder Entity Nistis into your extra deck as a one card slot and utilize Ultimate Slayer in conjunction with that. So you'll be able to get a +1 potentially from utilizing Ultimate Slayer with Elder Entity. A very good option, and the fact that you only need one extra slot for Elder Entity makes it a very good potential option to utilize when you're trying to break your opponent's board. Now, Ultimate Slayer, as if and when the extra deck slots become more able to have more extra deck slots as the Duel Links meta changes and the new rules become implemented to allowing you to utilize more extra deck slots, Ultimate Slayer is only going to increase in value over time because that gives you extra tech options to utilize in your extra deck. So it allows you to have greater options with being able to utilize more resources in your extra deck, and you don't have to worry about extra deck tight space because more deck slots could be potentially open in the near future, and as the game continues to evolve. So I think this card has a lot of potential, especially now, even also in the future, just for the fact that it can allow you to really break the board of your opponent's strategy and continuously push through. Now, this card is from the Selection Box Volume 9, so it's it's going to be pretty hard to get depending on your gems and types of currency that you utilize with the crystals. But ultimately, Ultimate Slayer is going to grow in value over time because the likelihood of the extra deck slots being available even further are highly likely. So that gives you more options in your extra deck and allowing you to have this card as a tech option when you're going against specific strategies. And if many players are utilizing a specific strategy that require all links, all fusion, all XYZ, this card is going to show some sort of level of competitiveness because of that. And on top of that, one of the biggest things is your opponent can activate monster effects. So if they have like a Dragoon on the field, they can't negate it. Dragoon cannot in itself negate Ultimate Slayer. So you can basically target another monster and shuffle into that deck, and allowing you to just worry about the Dragoon in itself and being able to disrupt your opponent board. So I think that, again, this card is going to show some high competitive play in the current format and also in the future, and it's only going to grow in value over time as the likelihood of the extra deck slots being increased is highly likely as the game gets to continues to evolve, and more types of futures become available. So I hope you guys enjoy this video and gives you some further understanding of how strong this card can be and what types of tech options such as Elder Entity and this disc can be utilized in your extra deck. And I hope this benefits you and your knowledge, being able to showcase a greater understanding of how powerful this card truly is. So thanks for watching. If you enjoyed this video, please share it to your friends. And again, thank you for your time. Take care.